I want to ask you about Jay-Z's album.
I think it's genius. I mean, like all of his projects, I thought it was really great.
Jay-Z new video with Nas and DJ Khaled, it's a scene with checkerboards. These are all occult Satan.
No one in the music industry could have predicted this moment, yet when the gavel finally struck, the shockwaves were electric. Remir, the man who spent years in the shadows claiming to be Jay-Z's biological son, walked out of court with a victory that feels ripped straight from another reality. $1.66 billion? Not a private deal, not a quiet settlement, but a public judgment so massive it threatens to carve straight through the ROC Nation empire. Tours profits, streaming stakes, brand deals, all of it suddenly hanging by a thread. And whispers say Beyonce, the queen of flawless control, is pacing her marble floors in what insiders describe as controlled chaos.
Felonies, I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything, so I don't want to see him go down for something that you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
For years, we've watched Jay-Z sidestep delay and outright refuse a DNA test, maintaining his image of untouchable power while dismissing Remir's claims as nothing more than noise. But this time is different. This ruling isn't just paperwork, it's a public reckoning, stripping away the shield he's always relied on, and the numbers are brutal. Even for a billionaire, $1.6 billion isn't pocket change. It's the kind of blow that can force fire sales, rattle investors, and sink brand partnerships overnight. With every hour that passes without resolution, Jay-Z's name sinks deeper into the mud.
Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay-Z too, I really admire the both of them.
And then, there's Espanol. The woman whose global empire thrives on perfection now finds her marriage dragged into the battlefield. Sources claim she's already delivered an ultimatum. Either Jay-Z fixes this mess before it detonates, or she reconsiders their entire foundation. She's weathered storms before, but this isn't tabloid gossip. This is a court-certified billion-dollar humiliation tied to allegations reaching back to when Remir's mother was underage. How do you spin that into a world tour announcement? How do you shield 3 children from headlines that will follow them into their classrooms?
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Industry insiders whisper that quiet calls have already gone out to top-tier divorce attorneys. Discreet, exploratory, but serious enough to fuel the rumor mill. And once these conversations begin, they're nearly impossible to undo. Every delay Jay-Z's lawyers secure in court is more time Beyoncé loses in controlling the story. Her circle reportedly fears the brand damage is already creeping in. Luxury partners are watching nervously. Endorsement talk stalling. In her world, image is the business. And right now, the optics are poison. But here's the twist that could escalate everything. Remir's courtroom win doesn't just validate his story, it could embolden others. Already resurfacing is the name Letitia Massour, the Maryland woman who has long claimed she's Jay-Z's daughter. Her allegations have floated for years, dismissed publicly and ignored by him. But now, with Remir proving the impossible is possible, sources say Letitia's camp is buzzing with new confidence. She's spoken before of growing up in a small town where everyone knew Jay-Z was her father, of her mother's long illness, and of raising her siblings while carrying this secret. If she revives her case now, Jay-Z could be staring at not one, but 2 explosive paternity battles, a chain reaction no PR team on earth could contain.
A lot of potential. Jay was more quiet. But I mean, I learned that Jay was being quiet because he was taking notes. He was taking notes, observing everything, taking it all in. Because, sometimes you're around and you're watching to see things to do. But some people are around.
Even more damning are whispers from a former friend who claims Jay-Z quietly bought Letitia a home in Cambridge, Maryland, and covers her bills under strict orders that no photos of him can ever be displayed. Jay-Z has never publicly addressed this allegation, but after Remir's victory, silence may no longer be an option. If Letitia steps forward with new proof, and people close to her insist she has more, the narrative could flip overnight. From reluctant father to serial denier, and that label wouldn't just scar his personal life, it would corrode the carefully crafted image of a billionaire role model and businessman.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me.
The cracks in Jazzy's empire are becoming impossible to ignore. ROC Nation, title, DS Cognac, all of it depends on an aura of control, power, and credibility. Strip that away, and the sharks start circling. Corporate partners hate instability, and right now, Jay-Z is instability personified. Every fresh headline whispers of underage relationships, ties to other disgraced figures in the industry, erodes the trust of the brands attached to his name. And then there's Beyoncé. She's more than a wife. She's $1 billion trademark her tours drive economies. Her name sells fashion, fragrances, and films. But if she clings to Jay-Z during a prolonged courtroom collapse, she risks bleeding brand value by association. If she exits too soon, she risks being painted as the wife who abandoned him in crisis. That's the tightrope she's walking, and insiders say her patience is running dangerously thin.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you.
This is where the personal collides with the professional, and it's the deadliest mix of all. Imagine the headlines if both Remir and Letitia are litigating at the same time. If their claims overlap, if new witnesses crawl out of the shadows, and imagine Beyoncé, worn down by whispers at every red carpet and gala, finally begins sketching her quiet exit strategy. The couple once hailed as untouchable, the blueprint of modern music power could unravel into a cautionary tale, faster than anyone ever predicted.
This is what I look for. When I see a success, I'm looking for anything
To say that they didn't do it on their own?
To taint it.
And behind all of it, one feeling grows stronger: inevitability. For years, Jay-Z managed to keep certain chapters of his past locked away with legal maneuvering and aggressive defenses. But courts don't bow to celebrity mystique the way fans do. Remir's billion-dollar victory already proved the armor can crack. If the next blow lands before he recovers from this one, the fallout won't just reshape Jay-Z's life. It could permanently alter the landscape of hip-hop's most iconic empire.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up.
The numbers alone are jaw-dropping, and they're just the beginning. $1.6 billion isn't a legal bill. It's a wrecking ball, swinging straight at the foundations of Jay-Z's empire. ROC Nation's artist roster, the sports management arm, the publishing division, all of it now sits under a financial cloud, so dark that even his most loyal partners are sketching exit strategies. If forced to pay in full, we could witness a fire sale from his streaming stake in Tidal to his luxury liquor investments. Assets dumped at pennies on the dollar just to keep the wolves at bay. And the optics, a mogul scrambling to liquidate. Brutal. In markets that thrive on confidence, the scent of panic can collapse entire ventures overnight.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
In high-rise boardrooms and smoke-filled back lounges, the whispers are already spreading. Investors are reportedly calling emergency meetings, marketing teams scrubbing Jay-Z's image from campaigns, and one luxury partner quietly freezing. A major rollout. At this point, it's not about guilt or innocence in court, it's about association. In an industry where perception is currency, even the shadow of instability can send collaborators bolting for safer ground. And with every day the judgment hangs unpaid, that perception hardens into something dangerously permanent.
There are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
The more chilling twist? How fast this single courtroom blow has reignited the secret children narrative. Remir's victory isn't a standalone scandal, it's being treated like the first crack in a dam under decades of pressure. Suddenly, Letitia Masser's story, once sidelined, is resurfacing with new heat. Those who've tracked her claims remember the details. Family members who say they introduced her mother to Jay-Z. Small-town whispers that never died. Her own posts insisting she's stayed quiet for too long. If she takes her fight into a courtroom with even half of Remir's persistence, the timing could be catastrophic for Jay-Z.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
And now industry veterans are asking the ugliest question. If there are two, could there be more? Over the years, other allegations flickered through gossip pages, dismissed without fanfare. But with $1 billion judgment etched into public record, every past whisper suddenly has new life. The refusal to take a simple DNA test, once brushed off as a privacy choice, now reads too many as defiance with something to hide. And every no comment only fuels the fire that the list of claimants may not be finished.
And we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
The personal strain is now impossible to miss. Insiders describe the Carters household as a fortress under siege, schedules torn apart, public appearances cut back, and a non-stop atmosphere of damage control. Beyoncé's legendary PR machine, once famed for scripting every pixel of her image, is reportedly stretched to the breaking point, struggling to shield her brand from fallout. And the longer these hidden paternity stories circulate, the less the world talks about artistry, and the more it fixates on a legacy of unanswered questions. For Jay-Z, this is the nightmare scenario. His career was built on carefully curating the myth, revealing just enough to inspire awe while locking the rest behind airtight legal walls. Now, those walls are cracking not from rivals in the studio, but from people with bloodline claims. And every strategist knows, once the public senses a pattern, it's almost impossible to win them back. What makes this storm so dangerous is the overlap financial collapse, colliding with reputational erosion. Lose money, and you can recover. Lose your image, and maybe you rebuild, but lose both at once, and you're in freefall. Imagine the headlines if, while scrambling to cover $1 billion judgment, Jay-Z is slapped with yet another lawsuit from an alleged secret child. Imagine the chain reaction if more accusers follow, with media tying old rumors to today's court filings. That would be a slow-motion implosion no publicist on earth could spin into a redemption arc. Even longtime allies sense the danger. Across Hollywood and the music world, silence has become the loudest statement. Kanye, whose history with Jay-Z has swung from brotherhood to Cold War, stays quiet. Rihanna, one of ROC Nation's crown jewels, hasn't breathed a word. Their absence isn't just avoiding gossip, it's avoiding the crossfire. Because when a titan stumbles, everyone tethered too tightly risks getting dragged down with him. Meanwhile, rivals see opportunity. 50 Cent has turned Jay-Z's refusal to take a DNA test into meme fuel, mocking him with the kind of taunts that cut deeper because they expose vulnerability. In an industry built on bravado, mockery from a peer of equal stature can chip away at an aura that took decades to build. Behind closed doors, the calculations are cold. Jay-Z's networks run deep. Award shows, corporations, philanthropy boards. To denounce him publicly could mean burning bridges that still control millions. And so, silence lingers. Less about loyalty and more about survival. Because if Jay-Z falls, who's next? And yet, the question hangs. Can the same wealth, connections, and cultural weight that built him shield him one more time? History shows titans can survive scandal after scandal, but this is different. This is a multi-front assault testing everything at once. The courts, investors, fans, and even the stability of his own home. We stand at a crossroads. One path sees Jay-Z claw his way back, settling lawsuits, silencing scandals, and reasserting dominance. The other sees his empire splinter in real time, assets stripped, alliances shattered, legacy rewritten not in platinum records but in courtroom transcripts. So we're left to ask, will this be the scandal that finally topples one of music's untouchable figures? Or will he, once again, walk away, bruised, but unbeaten? Drop your thoughts below because this story isn't over. The next headline could change everything.